everyone, welcome back to the Orji Family channel. We're back today with another hair tutorial video, except today is going to be a style tutorial. This is one of many to come, but today we're going to be doing this 2-strand twist style shown here, and there are many variations that can be done with this style, but this one here lasted 2 weeks and only took about 40 minutes because of the bigger sections. This side to side shows her day 3 hair on the left and day 7 hair on the right. The video quality isn't 4K on the right, so you don't see the shine as much, but you still can see somewhat how her twists are still going strong. This is not the type of twist style that you can do a twist out on simply because the sections are too big and the roots are pretty flat, but I'll have another video showing how to do an easy 2-strand twist out to lengthen her hair. In this first section of the video, I'm going to show you 3 ways to start these twists. Then I'll discuss the technique that I use to twist. That'll be followed by the products I use for this style, parting tips, and then finally how I set the hair. The first way is to take your squared off section, split it into 2 equal parts, and twist the right section over the left section. I twist it right over left, but left over right is fine too. Just twist whatever way feels more natural to you and stay consistent throughout so that everything's even. I switched to a clip of this video when the style was already halfway done to show you what the roots will look like if you continue starting off your twist this way. You can clearly see in the bottom row how the roots loosen up. After the hair is fully dry, and especially on day 2 to 3 and beyond, the roots will likely puff up no matter how much edge control or products you used on them. If you're doing a style where the sections are not this big, then it might not be an issue and you can start your twist this way no problem. But if you're doing something more like this where your sections are bigger and you want to avoid those puffy roots, you can style the rest of the hair using this second technique. The second way is to use a rubber band to secure the roots before you actually start the twist. Now, before you scream at me or go off at me in the comments, I already know there's so much controversy surrounding rubber band use in hair, and I get it, but I really like how flat it makes the roots, especially for this style where I want it to last for 2 weeks and I don't want them to puff up at all. I can tell you that I've done this style many times, and I know the rubber bands keep the roots flatter than any other technique. But what I do to make this less of an issue is soak the rubber bands in hair oil before putting them in. I also don't have to tie them super tight to create these flattened roots. Now, going back to that clip from earlier again, you'll see how much tighter the roots are in the second and third row of these sectioned off twists. There's just no doubt about it, they're tighter than the bottom row, which was started by twisting the hair without using a rubber band, that first technique. If you're too worried about hair breakage with rubber band use, but you want those flattish roots, then you can use this next technique. So the third way to start this twist is to braid the hair at the root until you get down to about here, and then split the hair into 2 sections and continue twisting all the way down the hair shaft. No matter which method you use, twist down to the bottom of the hair strand, and then once you reach the end, twirl the hair around your finger to complete the twist. As long as you twirl the end and it curls up, the twist will not become undone. If your hair type isn't as curly or it's fine and soft, then you can use an elastic at the end. So I've showed you 3 different ways to start off these twists. Now I'm going to show you the technique that I use to twist all the way down the hair strand in this next section. First, I make sure that the hair strands are combed and smoothed down with a holding agent like gel or mousse, but I'll talk more about that in a minute here. I'm going to secure this section with the rubber band. Like I said, I use this technique all throughout because I want these roots to be flat. Then I split the hair into 2 sections, the left and the right. And I actually twist both of those sections of hair as I'm twisting down. I have it in slow motion here so you can see how I turn the strand of hair that's in my left hand clockwise or to the right, and then pinch it with my other hand to hold the position. Then using the hand that I grabbed it with, I'll turn it clockwise as I'm putting it over the other hair strand. Now follow the section of hair in my left hand. I'm taking the left section of the hair with my left hand and turning it clockwise. Then I grab or pinch that section with my right hand and bring it under to the right side. I continue to turn that section of hair clockwise when I bring it back over to the left side. So twist both hair strands as you go in a clockwise direction when you bring the right section over the left section and the left section under the right section. I hope this helps. Now, Naomi has very curly hair, so when I do a 2-strand twist while it's wet, the final result will look different than if I twisted it while it was dry. Twisting wet will dry more like passion twists, but twisting after it's already blow dried straight will look more like rope twists. So keep this in mind if you're twisting naturally curly hair so that you can twist wet or dry depending on the desired outcome. Sometimes I do blow her hair out before I do these twists, but it's an extra step in the process. It takes a lot longer and isn't necessary when you're doing this type of style. I do like to blow it out before I do a twist out, and with a twist out, I definitely don't make sections this big. I do them pretty small, but that's just my personal preference. Now I'm going to talk about the products used to create this style. We're going to start with clean, conditioned, and detangled hair. Naomi used her AG Balance and Boost shampoo and conditioner, and we detangled with the Easy Detangler brush. See her full wash routine video linked above. The first product we used was the Uncle Funky's Curl Magic Curl Stimulator to act as the moisturizing agent while her hair was in this style. You can use any kind of leave-in conditioner or cream. Then I'll be parting the hair with my rat tail comb to get it as straight as possible. I'm creating about a 2-inch section that'll be the bottom layer of my sectioned off 2-strand twist. Trying to get perfectly clean parts can sometimes take a while, so I do find it helpful to use this Shine and Jam as a tool to clean up any loose strands that should be on the other side of the part. You just take a small amount, smear it across the part, and use the rat tail comb or a parting comb to get the strands back in place. Like I said, this can take forever if you're a part perfectionist, but I never go crazy, especially on kids who don't feel like sitting still for too long, and I also don't have the patience to just continue to sit here and do this. But after you get your part straight, you can use the curved edge of the comb to flatten out the hair on both sides of the part like so. Then you're going to part vertically to make a square section for your first twist. Each section is going to be started off this way. I put more Shine and Jam on that part, get it straight, and brush it through the roots with my comb, and then lay down the roots by pressing down with the curved edge of the comb. This is what I'm going to continue to do throughout. The last product that I'm going to be using is a holding agent, which can either be gel or mousse. I normally always use the Doux Mousse Def Texture Foam. It works really well, doesn't create a gel cast, but the hold is still great, and it moisturizes with aloe. I was out of it, so this time around I used the gel that I had on hand, which is the Innersense I Create Hold Gel. It held up really well, and her hair stayed for 2 weeks in this style. I would say that the biggest difference between this gel and the texture foam is that it took a little bit longer for her hair to dry, and it did create a cast. I didn't care about the cast though, because I knew it was naturally going to break as she slept, and the twist will start getting bigger and juicier as the days go on, so for this time it worked just fine. In this last section, I'm just going to talk about parting. So I've already talked about a technique on how to get the parts straighter using the Shine and Jam and laying down the roots in that section using the curved edge of the comb. The other tip is that when you're doing any kind of style like this, whether it's braids, twists, finger coils, or sectioned off ponytails, you don't want to stack the sections right on top of each other, but instead you want to part the hair to replicate a layered brick pattern so that when the hair strands dangle, they're not laying right on top of each other. So as you can see here, the second row was parted so that each section was started at the middle of the section below it, not right on top of it. Now you can see each twist from start to finish and none are covered up. Keep parting this way all the way to the top. Once I finished twisting all the hair, I sprayed a heat protectant spray all over and put Naomi under a hooded dryer to set the style. This step is definitely optional because you can just air dry the hair, but because I used gel instead of mousse, I knew it was going to take a lot longer, and we had somewhere to be, which was outside and not that warm, so I didn't want her to be cold. We had to stop the drying process early, so her hair here isn't fully dry, as I'm sure you can tell. Once it's fully dry, the twists are a little bit bigger and definitely bouncier. Here she is the next day when it was fully dry, so you can see that movement a lot more here. To prolong this style, make sure to protect it at night. I tied down her hair with a silk scarf and a bonnet. You can just use one or the other, but I didn't want any movement, so the scarf helps with that, but I also didn't want to chance it coming off at night, so we used the bonnet on top. I never put any additional products in as the days go on, except for edge control around the hairline when it started frizzing up, and like I said, this lasted 2 weeks. I could have probably left it in a little bit longer, but once it starts getting frizzy, I just like to take it out, wash it, and get on with the next style. As I mentioned earlier, if I blew her hair dry before twisting and didn't put as many moisturizing products in, then these would turn out more like rope twists, which are much straighter. I love the passion twist look though because there's just more volume and bounce, and because I put in a moisturizing and a holding agent, her natural curl pattern tries so hard to break through these twists, so they give this curly twist look rather than that straighter rope twist. And the natural curl at the end looks so cute to me. Her hair is just so versatile, so I like to do all different styles. Plus she goes to school with people that don't have this type of hair, so showing her all the different things that can be done with her hair is really important to me. A lot of her school friends have really long hair, so she does ask me from time to time to add hair so that I can make it longer, but I told her maybe next year. So really quick, I just wanted to show you this clip of my other daughter Kaya, who's coughing. She had this same style done. I did it the exact same way, except I did use the Doux Mousse Def Texture Foam. That didn't make the difference. The difference here is that her hair is a lot less dense, she has thinner hair, and her curl pattern is totally different. So she can't get this passion twist look without using added hair. So for her, if she wants this same style, which she often does because they're sisters, then I would add extra hair. I took it out a few days later and it left this curl pattern, which I still think is really cute.
I love my hair, and I want to keep helping you with yours. So like and subscribe!